Well, now, we got ourselves a good movie to talk about on our hands today. If you're a fan of cars, explosions, sand, and big-eyed women with shaved heads, I know I certainly am, then you're gonna fucking love Furiosa. So Furiosa is the new film set in the Mad Max universe, directed by our Lord and Savior George Miller. And surprise, surprise, it's really good. It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good.
What's the Australian one?
It's like that.
Just tight.
It's just tight.
Just a tight
It's
fist.
high and tight.
So Furiosa is a prequel film to the 2015 film Mad Max Fury Road. You know, a true work of cinema. For my fellow Mad heads, my Max heads? Fury heads? Mad Maxers? I don't fucking know. If you're expecting this film to be Fury Road, you're gonna be very disappointed because it's not. And I'm glad it's not, because this is an entirely different beast altogether. I felt the way I felt when I was reading Homer's Odyssey in high school. Like this grand scale adventure filled with just action, peril, danger, scale. Am I in focus? Have I been out of focus this whole fucking... Oh my god. Been doing this for 10 years now, and you still don't know how to fucking focus your camera. Goddamn, Luca. Light spoilers for Furiosa. There are some things I want to talk about, so go watch it ASAP. Before you... Don't even watch this video at all until you see this movie. A young Furiosa is taken from her home by Chris Hemsworth's character, Dr. Dementis. And she spends the rest of her days trying to get revenge on her captor and return home. Now, if you've seen Mad Max Fury Road, you know her home's gone, doesn't exist anymore. It's kaput, gone, forever. It ceases to exist. And with prequel films, you expect certain things to happen to the character because you know where they're gonna end up. But it's been a while since I've seen a prequel film that really captivated me from start to end. And even though I knew what was coming, I never expected it when it happened, let alone what to expect for the rest of the film itself. I knew Furiosa's journey. I knew where her character's supposed to end up, but how she ends up there, that's the interesting part. Let's talk about our two big actors here, Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. Anya Taylor-Joy, she's good in everything, I think. I haven't seen a movie of hers where I didn't like her in it. Even, yeah, New Mutants. Remember that one? Remember that dumpster fire? She was... I wouldn't... Not good, but she was trying. She was really trying. Any movie she's in, she elevates to its fullest. The Menu, The Witch, The Northmen, the Playmobil movie. Yeah, that's a movie that actually existed that she's in. And it's no different here. She really has so much presence and like command of the screen. Her eyes, her big eyes pierce my soul. I could feel every emotion behind those big ol' eyes of hers. So I also want to shout out the actress who plays younger Furiosa, I should say. She has so much presence as well. She does as good as a job as Anya Taylor-Joy does, in my opinion. And she's in the movie for a good chunk of time. It takes a while before we even get to Anya Taylor-Joy Furiosa. We spend a majority of the first act and a half, I would say, with younger Furiosa. She also has big ol' eyes that pierce your soul and commands the screen. That one shot with that close-up, that extreme close-up on her eye as her mother's being killed. Oh! When I saw that, I knew, okay, I'm in for a heater. I'm in for an all-timer right now. But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy and her mini-me are absolutely incredible. I love how you can just feel every bit of anger, resentment, hatred, sorrow, despair, just in her eyes alone. Oh, I love good eye acting. Eye acting is so underrated. Now, let's talk about our big boy, Thor Odinson himself, Chris Hemsworth. God damn, sir. Now, I've known for a while that Chris Hemsworth is actually a good actor. I've seen Bad Times at the El Royale. I know this man has sauce. It just pisses me off when certain movies don't give him anything to do and he just becomes a bumbling, buff himbo character. His Dr. Dementis character in this movie. It's his best role he's ever done, and I'm not kidding. He's phenomenal. Chris Hemsworth completely loses himself in this role, and it got to a point where I didn't even see him as Chris Hemsworth anymore. It was so refreshing to see Chris Hemsworth in a role that he was so engrossed in, and that felt lived in, felt real and equally terrifying as well. And guess what? He's still funny in this one too. He has moments of comedic relief. It doesn't feel like this fake, improv comedy that a certain movie really loved doing that I really didn't like. It was just also so nice to see Chris Hemsworth have so much fun with this role too. You can tell he's loving every single minute of it. For the first time in a very long time, I was so immersed in a film that I wasn't even thinking, how the fuck did they do that? I wasn't thinking like, how do they get this shot? How do they do this? I was just thinking, oh my god, this is so cool. For a prequel film where you know what's coming, I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what was coming at all. And prequel films do this thing that I hate, where they telegraph, like, oh, here's that iconic thing that's gonna happen. This is how they get their thing. Oh, I'm Han. I don't have a last name. I'm on my own. Oh, you're alone, huh? Han Solo.
I'm alone. Solo.
Or like how fucking Wolverine got his iconic jacket in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Obvious foreshadow is obvious.
Like, okay, her arm. Furiosa has the robotic arm. She loses her arm at some point. And in this movie, she has both of them. So at some point, one of them is gonna come off. You're expecting the entire time at some point for Furiosa to lose her arm. But when it does happen, you don't even expect it to happen. It comes out of nowhere. Like, oh, fuck. That's how you should make prequels. You shouldn't be like, oh, hey, here's how they get this thing, or this character trait, or this quality that you know them so well for. I was so fully engrossed. I forgot I was watching a movie. I was just watching an epic unfold before my very eyes. Fury Road is all about, the action, the scale, the spectacle, and the insane practical chase sequences. And sprinkled throughout is little bits of character stuff, a little bit of world building, nothing too crazy though, but it's still enough to keep you engaged with the story and its characters. And then you have Furiosa, which is all character stuff with action and spectacle sprinkled throughout. What this film really focuses on is character and world building. Oh my god, the world building. I just absolutely love it when films really take the time to explain the world and make you feel like you're on another fucking planet. But in reality, we're just in Australia. Characters that barely have any screen time from Fury Road get so much more presence and story and character in this one. We get to see locations like the Bullet Farm, Gas Town. We get to know more about characters like the People Eater, Immortan Joe. We get more time with these characters and these locations that make this world feel lived in and real, which in turn makes watching Fury Road a much better experience. Now, again, like I said, if you're expecting Fury Road, you're gonna be very disappointed because there aren't that many, huge action sequences. It's a slow, patient movie. There's a lot of build-up and anticipation before that release. Now, is the action on par with Fury Road? No? Is it bad action? Absolutely not. Not even close. It's phenomenal action, phenomenal direction and just choreography. But when compared to Fury Road, it doesn't really hold a candle. So yeah, there's not a lot of action in this movie. When there is action, it's awesome. It's so good. But when there isn't, you get great character interactions that are so gripping and enthralling that it feels like an action sequence within itself. It's an action sequence with words, man. There's a scene where Chris Hemsworth is talking with Immortan Joe at the Citadel, and it's one of the most gripping and engaging and enthralling scenes in the entire movie. Same thing for the end of the movie when Furiosa and Dementis reunite for the first time in years, and they're just having an actor off. They're just both of them acting their pussies off. It's so good. Chris Hemsworth little monologue about why he's such a piece of shit. So good. It adds so much to his character. You understand why he is the way he is. Usually it's a pet peeve of mine in films when the bad guy's like, you're just like me. You're just a dark reflection of who I am. Yeah, and we're not so different after all, Spider-Man. It's been done to death. I hate that trope. It's a cliche. It's done to death. Anytime it happens in a movie, I roll my fucking eyes. But in this one, it works. It just works, and it makes sense for these two characters, because in this world, in this wasteland, everyone is a piece of shit. There's no such thing as a good human being, right? There are less worse people, but let's face it, everyone in this world is a lunatic, murdering psychopath, but just some of them have humanity left in them. So it makes sense when Dementis is saying, you're just like me. were the same. I don't roll my eyes when I hear that. It works. It works because of the writing and the world building and like the performances. It all comes together in this cacophony of just cinema magic. If I were to critique one thing about this movie is that visually it's not as good as Mad Max Fury Road. It's kind of a downgrade, I would say. Hold on, that's not to say that it's a bad looking movie. Of course not. A lot of it looks really, really good, but it's inconsistent. There were a handful of moments in this movie where the visuals lacked some flair, some sauce, you know? Some shots were just really flat and like didn't look that great. It's a testament to the movie though that like I didn't even think about how flat some of the shots were because of how engrossed I was while watching the film. People online have been complaining like how, oh, there's so much CGI in this movie. Where's all the practical stuff? There's still practical stuff in this movie, but let's remember, George Miller is 80 years old. He can't make everything practical, all right? It's just not viable. It's not bad CGI at all. It's just very flat CGI. It lacks texture. Fury Road, yeah, has a lot of CGI in it. Of course it does. The CGI in that movie had that texture. It looked crunchy and real. And yeah, the CGI in this movie looks real enough. It just looks too polished. It looks too clean. It doesn't have that texture, that style, that grit that the previous movie had. I think the most egregious example of it is the scene where that tower falls down at Gastown. I think visually that might be the worst part of the movie. I mean, but again, yeah, this film isn't perfect, but these things in no way ruin any of the film for me at all. And at the end of the day, I still think that this film is damn near perfect. If anything, the addition to this movie in the Mad Max timeline or the Mad Max universe makes Fury Road so much better. And then Fury Road makes this movie even better itself. These two films just complement each other so well that both films fix each other's problems. Any problem that I have with Mad Max Fury Road, Furiosa fixes. Any problem that I have with Furiosa, Fury Road fixes. It's a beautiful symbiotic relationship, and that's what a prequel film should be. It should complement its predecessor. You know, I try to review movies as objectively as possible, right? I try to be fair and like, you know, say and give credit where it's due and like, you know, be critical of it as well. But when I see giant monster trucks like, you know, just like crushing each other, like, you know, in the desert, that testosterone part of me just goes, fuck yeah. I guess that's all I really have to say. Bye.